Good morning. I think it must be day 10, is it? Day 9? I don't know. I'll find out when I upload it. So, sorry, I'm looking a bit bedraggled. I've just got out of bed. So I've left my tent pitched for the same spot for the last 2 days. When I wandered into town yesterday, I just left it, abandoned it to its fate, which was a bit scary. But the spot where I've been holed up here for 3 days now, and I've not seen a single soul. The way I found the spot is when I landed in Santiago de Quesem, I used Komoot, which I use for my cycle touring, and I just used the satellite map to find some woodlands and found a place with a river running past where I thought I'd be able to get water, and just told it to route me there, and it routed me along this track past this. I say a track, it's not really. I mean, there was just about vague sort of markings on the floor where someone had walked. It looked more like animal tracks than actual people tracks, but anyway, I wandered out into the countryside. I've mentioned this before, and was going to camp on top of this hill where there was a nice place I could have stretched my tarp out, and it looked quite nice. But then there was all these sort of big clay puddles with hoof print. I don't know what, trotter prints, I don't know what they were, but something had been wallowing in there. And I have heard about wild boar, and they can be quite aggressive and dangerous, so I didn't want to camp there. So I wandered back to this spot. So today, obviously when I went into town yesterday to get supplies and stuff, I was only gone for like an hour, so I didn't really feel my kit was that much at risk. Obviously there's, a good £1,000 worth of equipment there, nothing, titanium pans, Osprey rucksack, etc. My sleeping bag was probably 200 quid. And I mean, it's insured, but I need the kit to survive for the rest of the month, so I didn't want it to get pinched. So this morning I decided, because I'm planning on going into the library to try and recharge my battery banks, so I'm going to be there for a few hours. So I've packed my kit down, or starting to pack my kit down. It's still early. It's a bit warmer this morning. It's clouded over a bit, and that's kept it a bit warm as I've got out of bed. So in the last few mornings when I've got up, I've sat here and wrapped myself up in my sleeping bag to keep warm. But this morning it's quite toasty, even though it's not as bright. Anyhow, as I've emptied my tent out, I've noticed 2 little holes in the bottom of my ground sheet, like abrasions, where I don't know if it's my camp bed that's done it on a stone or something. I don't use a ground sheet protector, and I think if I had used a ground sheet protector, I'd have just had a hole in the ground sheet protector and the ground sheet. So I've got some Gorilla Tape spooled round my walking pole, so I've peeled a bit of that off, and once my ground sheet's dried out, I'm going to stick some Gorilla Tape on it, probably top and bottom, just to sort of make sure it's still sealed back up. That stuff's usually pretty good. I also had a little snag in my sleeping bag that feathers were coming out of, so I've stuck some Gorilla Tape over that. Great stuff Gorilla Tape is. It's like duct tape, but just a lot stickier and more waterproof. So yeah, the plan is, as soon as I'm packed down, I'm going to stow all my kit around the corner in the barn out the way, a little stable at the back of the farmhouse. And then I'm going to wander into town with just my charger and my battery bank and stuff, and see if I can sit in the library and charge it up. I did send an email to the library. I got ChatGPT to word me an email in Portuguese. That was yesterday afternoon. They were still open for 3 or 4 hours. I didn't get a reply, so who knows. I'd be very surprised if I got turned away by a library. I think in England, if you turned up and just plugged your stuff in and sat and started reading a book, I don't think anyone would bother you. But I do stand out a bit here. I have noticed that not a lot of Portuguese males tend to have very much facial hair. I've seen the odd guy with a bit of a moustache. There was an old boy with a big like Mauser moustache yesterday, but most of them are very clean shaven, and obviously I'm very much not clean shaven, so I do tend to stand out, which is a bit interesting. I'm clearly not a local. The lady in the supermarket keeps giving me nice smiles, but I don't think she speaks any English, so that might be problematic. But yeah, I'll see how today goes. If it turns out I get to the library and they won't let me charge up, I'll have to head back here, pick my kit up, and then arrange the bus ticket to get out of here, because I've literally got maybe 1 day's worth of juice left in my devices, and I am heavily dependent on them for booking things and translating and all that kind of stuff. So keeping charged up was always going to be a problem, and with the hecticness of all the packing before I left the country and moving all my stuff into storage, I didn't think to. Well, I briefly remembered my solar panel, but I just never thought to sort it out and bring it with me, and it would have just been something heavy to carry, and they're quite fragile. And I don't know how effective it would have been really. I mean, like, you leave it in bright sunlight for the whole day and you get like a 5% on your phone or something. It's, you know, it's not amazing. Maybe if you're in Arizona or something, it'd be a different story. But hey, so that's the plan for today. I'll do another update later on. I'll post this one for now, and I'll do another update a bit later on, just to let you know whether I'm ended up staying here or moving on. I'm probably going to replat my messy beard before I go into town, so I don't look quite such like a hobo. So that's today, or this morning anyway. I'll speak to you later.